Well, hello and welcome to another Daily Dominion. It is Friday, so we have three expansions intermixed. In this case, I believe it's Renaissance with projects and some cards. The landmark is from Empires, and then also some variety, Fairgrounds, cornucopia, and guild stuff. Now, you can have a look at the kingdom over here. The only thing that's hidden is that settlers, which is part of the split pile, is costing 2, although you cannot see the other card hidden behind 5 settlers, which is bustling village. And yeah, going back to this kingdom view, we see that there is a lot of stuff going on. 11 cards, because Young Witch is bringing in her Bane card. And yeah, we have trashing and research, and also with the project sewers. When you trash a card other than this, you may trash a card from your hand. So this might also even work with Improve, trashing an action card, or Old Witch, trashing a curse from your hand, and you get to trash 2. Now, apart from this fairly okay trashing, fairly good trashing actually, with sewers, we have cursing by either via Young Witch or Old Witch. And then we also have some strong gains, Sculptor for sure. We note that I don't think there is proper plus buy, so this is a bit awkward and limiting. Of course, forum says plus buy when you gain this, so yeah, there is no extra buys on forum. But what we can potentially do, and probably will do, is some improve stuff. You can improve action cards into Fairgrounds, I think. Right? Yeah, it's only important that you trash an action card, but you can gain a card costing exactly one more than it. And Sculptor allows you to gain multiple cards per turn, so if you were to, I don't know, use the Sculptor to gain a Patron, then have Improved played the same turn, and you can improve the Patron to a Sculptor, and then the Sculptor to a Fairgrounds the next turn. So that might be a way to grab some alternate victory points, and also, of course, you can improve into duchies. You can only ever buy one province per turn. Now, Fairgrounds, let's see. Fairgrounds, we have 11 cards or 12 cards in the kingdom, plus the 7 basic cards. So Fairgrounds can only ever go up to 15 unique cards, making it worth 6. But still, that might be worth going for. It will probably be as valuable as provinces. Also, both Fairgrounds and Museum incentivize you to gain lots and lots of differently named cards, as Museum just defaults to scoring you 2 victory points. Now, that wraps up the discussion of the kingdom, I think. The kingdom plot is kind of funny. It's completely symmetrical. The buys maybe is just because sometimes there are cards that can gain you forums during your turn, and that might give you extra buys. Here, Improve might very well do that, but it will gain a forum in the phase where you cannot spend the extra buys. So no buys here, no extra buys here. But yeah, apart from that, it's funny to have a fully symmetrical kingdom plot. Nothing is abundant, but also everything is available. And that brings me to the openings. And opening-wise, I think going for research cargo ship might be best. Also, if your opponent goes for Young Witch on their first turn, and you might be inclined to go for research improve to try to deflect that first curse. Could also go the full trashing way, go research sewers, and then be guaranteed to trash 2 cards with the first research. But that does not propel your economy, and I think, yeah, buying cards is very important here. You can pick up the sewers turn 3 or turn 4, probably, hopefully turn 3. You will hit 3 and not see your trasher, and then you can get full value out of the sewers, but, well, Gotta be a bit lucky for that. We're going to try to get a sculptor in early as well, probably with the cargo ship. And then, yeah, the thing is that the only village, I didn't talk about this, the only village is hidden below the settlers. So we will need to clear 5 settlers before we can get our hands on the first village. And until then, we're quite terminal limited. By that I mean we can only play 1 terminal action per turn, unless Sculptor is gaining us silvers, which will, give us villagers, which we can then use. Or if we were to open Patron, and also we could stash away villagers to have a tiny village effect. But yeah, that makes Young Witch and Old Witch not as strong early on as they might otherwise be, just because the availability of village is not really there. But yeah, still on the 5-2, I think I might open the Old Witch or just research, to be honest. Maybe even Sculptor isn't too bad. Just getting your deck under control is super important here. So you can do the Sculptor improve stuff. And yeah, Old Witch Settlers might not facilitate this, but on the other hand, you will curse your opponent quite a lot. Note that Old Witch isn't, because of Sewers, is just not as strong as otherwise, because if you allow your opponent to trash a curse plus another card from their hand, yeah, it's not the best value. Anyways, let's go for that cargo ship. Research opening cargo ship, just being able to accelerate you early on just a tiny bit seems quite nice. Although improve, thinking about it, we could improve the improve into another research, already trigger another sewers, or into a patron even. Am I coming around on improve? I think I am coming around on improve. And also later on, we will buy a lot of settlers, I think, and being able to improve those, yeah, will be quite nice. And here we can already do a nice thing. Buy sewers, improve into a patron, probably. Try to rack up some villagers, and now, oh, perfect. We could trash another card here, but I think I want to rebuy the improve. Also, this is going to be a short shuffle anyways, and having another improve, trashing stuff will be quite nice. And yeah, here we get to buy a Sculptor and improve the Patron into a Sculptor or a Seer, probably. Oh, then we don't want to play all of those coppers. Yeah, what do we want to improve actually? Could even be the research, although I like, yeah, keeping to trash a bit. Maybe also the patron just wants to become a forum. We just want to see this Sculptor a lot and the research a lot to get super thin early on. So yeah, let's go for a forum or a Seer. Both should be good in cycling. Seer, even better in finding research and improve. So maybe it's that. I'm not entirely sure, but yeah. Okay, another improve turn. We will probably just buy an improve, and no, we can just buy a Sculptor and well, we want to keep having an improve around. Although if we go for a Sculptor, we could still do so by just sculpting for an improve next turn. Yeah, maybe it's that. And this improve can once again become a patron. We do have the Seer down here, which can find that. We could think about, actually, yeah, let's try to rack up a villager here and gain a silver, research the silver, and then just buy, what do we want to buy? Probably another Improve, or yeah, we have Sculptor down there, right? Yeah, we have set aside one. Yeah, the settlers are a bit concerning that there are still so many, but maybe we can improve one of the settlers into another improve or whatever next turn. I like that we have this extra villager here, so yeah, maybe we do that. Gain a settlers, play the settlers. Although there is a nice seer on top, and just gain a silver here to preserve the... I wonder if this settlers is really the correct way to go. It's probably not. Probably it's just, to be honest, it's just another research. And then you do the silver thingy again and just, yeah, rigorously thin down, starring the the villager, setting aside good stuff, and now go for a settlers that we can then improve. The village situation is really, really awkward. So yeah, we want to get to those bustling villages as soon as possible, and we might do this by going um, for those settlers. Now here, this wants to probably do the research thing again, and thus stash away the curse, trash a copper, and trash this card. We for sure want to play the Improve and also probably the Patron. The question is just whether... yeah, I think... Yeah, we spent this villager here to gain the last settlers. And then just buy a settlers and turn this Patron, or... Oh, actually, then I should not play all of these coppers. We want to trash as much as possible. Yeah, buy the settlers and now trash either the patron or the research into another into the first bustling village there. And I think the patron wants to go, to be honest, because the research is yeah, the research we still need currently to thin out completely, especially with AI cursing us. So let's go for that village. Be very happy that we have it. And we should draw our deck here. And hopefully do some more improve stuff. Yeah, we do draw the deck. The Bustling Village is the last card, but we don't mind. This can be, I don't know, Patron, Improve, trash that. Although no, we then don't have enough action, so unfortunately just has to be either Patron or Silver. I think Patron is just a tiny bit better. Get to trash here, play those Patrons, play the Improve, and buy another Sculptor, and also turn one of the Patrons into a Bustling Village. And be on with our turns. Yeah, I think we're rolling here. This is quite good, even though we're far behind in victory points because AI has a more diverse deck. We are, I think, on a really good track, although we might not quite draw here. We do get to... Well, we could go for a Young Witch here and draw 2 cards. I think that's actually really good because there is another bustling village down there, and otherwise we don't get to play all of our nice terminals. Now, what do we want to put into this discard there is a question. And it might just be, I don't know, research something, or both researches actually, or research copper. And now we get to play the other, get to sculpt a silver that we can trash, and then trash the curses as well. Probably just another patron. And yeah, this looks good. Although this could also be another improve to that we just gain here. But no. Yeah. Let's trash the silver. Trash those two. And even have an extra villager. And just buy a sculptor. Same thing as last turn essentially. Although we are quite low on draw. So maybe this wants to be an old witch. And then, yeah, get our hands on yet another bustling village. I mean, how scared are we, or how important is the terminal situation? I think the terminal situation is bad enough that we might just want to buy bustling village and patron for into bustling village, then we can do more of the sculptor stuff actually. Just secure the split. And yeah, let's play the Seer later. I think especially with the young witch around, we might be able to do some nice setup things. Like here we might play the young witch, put Settler's Copper into the discard, get the Settlers back out of the discard by bustling village and get the copper back out of the discard. Yeah, that was great already. And yeah, I should have known this, but wait. Yeah, that's bottom deck. That and the world is our oyster with all of those nice villages that we have. Now we can really go ham also on victory points and probably get rid of this one of the researches, decline this, and yeah, I mean this game is really close to already piling out. I don't think AI has it in it, so we should be on a good side, but we should not neglect our drawing capabilities and also our scoring capabilities. So, maybe we just gain a cargo ship, to be honest, even though it might sound weird and we might want more improves and patrons. But it's just, yeah, it's just not, I'm not too comfortable leaving too many of those in there, and the cargo ship can actually set aside like a draw card, such as either Seer or Old Witch. And does this want to be a province here? Actually, why not? Let's be super safe, trash one of the researches, set aside an Old Witch, trash one of the patrons, gain one more sculptor. We have the terminal space, so we should be good there. And this might allow us to next turn win, unless we miss all of our 4 villages in our starting hands, but it doesn't look like that. So yeah, this is looking quite juicy. We get to probably do some young witch stuff once again, like young witching the settlers and the research, and then getting to pick up this settlers, getting to draw further. We might want to do young witch stuff again, although this should already be a win, right? We just gain those last patrons and improves, and now we just have an insane improve turn. And that should be it, right? We go Patron into, decline that, into touchy. We go maybe Patron into, decline that, Forum, that's the card we don't have yet. And then we go Sculptor, decline that, into Fairgrounds. And is there anything else we could achieve? If we trash a Settlers into a Silver, maybe we get, well, we for sure get 2 more victory points, but is that more than trashing, Sculptor into Fairgrounds is the most victory point yielding thingy. And there you have it. Victory in 13 turns, 51 points. It's not all too impressive, but for a single buy kingdom, I would say this is quite a nice result. And yeah, the improved stuff was really nice. I think going for that last bustling village, even though we were on the shaky side draw-wise, was quite the right play. Just having all of that terminal space to use the sculptors, yeah, was quite nice. And how many uniques did we have? We had 14 uniques, so another, well, trashing the Settlers into Silver would have also yielded 4 points total, 2 from Fairgrounds, 2 from Fairgrounds and 2 from the Silver, as we didn't have one from Museum, so same point situation, but we went Sculptor into Fairgrounds. Had we had more improves, then we might have done more, but yeah, I mean, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Now, this has been a 22-minute playthrough, pretty nice, pretty neat. And with that, I'm done, and I will try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.